Hello, everybody. Welcome to, well, I guess we're going to call this, it's not International Podcast Day, Steve, but it is the new announcement we're having for International Podcast Day Podcaster Showcase. Before we get all into this, Steve, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. Thanks for the invite and looking forward to this. It's hard to believe it's already been a month since International Podcast Day, but as you and I have discussed, we want to continue these conversations and keep things rolling throughout the year. We don't want to flood the world with information, but we still want to bring on guests and provide information and, you know, just make this industry that we love even better.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's exactly what we want to do here with Podcaster Showcase. And as I went out and shared on social media this week, there seems to be a lot of buzz around it. There seems to be a lot of interest about what we're doing. And essentially what we're going to be doing, Steve, is exactly what you said, is that we are going to be showcasing talent, podcasters, voices, non-podcasters, those that are within the audio space, leaders in the industry. And we're going to be spanning the globe once again. And it's going to be voices from Australia. It's going to be voices from Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and the United States and Canada and Ireland. And we are going to be putting together a really nice live event for you month to month. Steve, the original, what the plan is, just so everybody knows, that we're always going to shoot for the last Saturday of each month. So that kind of timestamps everything. The time, of course, will be subject to change, mostly because you and I are here in California and within the United States, but as time will change, that maybe an 8 a.m. doesn't work for us and it works better for someone else. So we have multiple time zones we're going to be trying to balance. And so we're going to be looking for the last Saturday of every month, but subject to change as that. But Steve, I did want to quickly thank everybody who did take part in our 2020 International Podcast Day event. It was well received. It was another great day when it comes to celebrating the media that we love. And if you guys do head over to internationalpodcastday.com/schedule, we do have our broadcast from that day. We're talking about 26 different countries, 60 plus podcasters, 24 plus hours of content, and you can scroll through over on that website. We have everything embedded. You can check us out on our YouTube page. Anywhere you can search for International Podcast Day, you are going to find these great sessions and these great broadcasts. And again, Steve, it's awesome to highlight and feature so many different podcasters, from Turkey to the Caribbean community, to France, to Spain, to Latin America, and everywhere in between. So I do encourage everybody to head over to internationalpodcastday.com and check out those replays. I think you're muted, Steve.
There's always too many buttons when you do this kind of stuff and you try and do things right. And then there's always what I call the oopski, I did it again. But International Podcast Day this past September, Dave, was a marvelous exercise in breathing new content out to people, whether you're a podcaster, a listener, just a hobbyist, a professional. It really didn't matter, because we had so many various kinds of points of view. What I found interesting was various parts of the world have different issues or concern that perhaps we don't have here in the United States because of laws or bandwidth or whatever the case may be. And those discussions are just very, very interesting. That's one of the real nuggets that I get out of Podcast Day, besides social media just going stinking wacko. It's almost like saying, Happy New Year. It's Happy International Podcast Day. It's just so much fun.
It is such a great event, and we want to bring that flair to a monthly event like this. And again, it's been well received online, and we're really looking forward to sort of a month to month. And it's going to be different, Steve, every week or every month, just like every year with International Podcast Day. There's something fresh, there's something new, and there's always a new perspective or outlook, whether it's in India, Turkey, Spain, as I mentioned. It's just going to be something different every year. And for that, I just, it's really exciting to be a part of this process and just showcase talents and voices from all over the place. So, Steve, what I wanted to start with is mention who we are going to be having on for the first ever podcaster showcase. And this is going to be our great friend and former contributor to International Podcast Day, Stephen A. Hart. As you can see on the video screen here, he is a podcaster and brand strategist. He is on a mission to build trailblazers all over the planet. He is an awesome, awesome guy. He is all about branding. He's all about efficiency. He's all about flow. And he has a fantastic podcast called Trailblazers.fm, and he interviews exploring successful Black entrepreneurs around the United States and abroad. And he just has some tremendous insights. And we are really excited to have him join us. This is going to be October 31st at 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So we do encourage everybody to come back over to any of our live events. As I mentioned, we're going to be streaming to Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, internationalpodcastday.com/live. It's going to be all over the place. So that's who we are going to be showcasing this month, Steve. I know you're a big fan of Steven. I've heard him talk. We've met him in person 4 years ago at Podcast Movement. So we are very anxious and very excited to have Steven on for October 30th.
Once again, I don't know where to click the mute button because I'm a novice. I've only been doing this since, 1950 something. But anyway, I think Steven's going to be a great kickoff show. The guy is just so interesting. Didn't we have him on our show one time, The Ways of Tech, and we talked about some various things in relationship to what he's doing in technology, which was very interesting. So, Dave, we're really looking forward to all these. I'm glad you're the one that's going to get up at 2 a.m. to do some of these while I'm dreaming and counting sheeps.
Yeah, I am definitely a sucker for getting up super early. One, I get up early to watch sports a lot, but also at the same time, it's great to connect with podcasters. And literally, Steve and I will show up at any time that podcasters want to join our session. So, Steve, you may see it. It may not be as bright and lovely as it is right now in my studio come broadcast time, but it's going to be a fun, fantastic event to have. As I mentioned, Stephen A. Hart, you can check out his website over at stephenahart.com. Again, October 31st, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time over here in the United States. Steve, I am just super excited to bring this new adventure, this new journey towards our brand and what we are doing over here. We just want to continue to elevate those voices, showcase more podcasters and stories from around the world. I did want to mention a few things we have in the movement is I'm trying to work on gathering a couple podcasters from Australia that do some amazing work over there with storytelling. I've already been in contact with some individuals, some great ladies over in Africa that we're going to be putting together a really cool, anywhere between 2 to 3 hour event for Podcaster Showcase. So you can think of this as sort of like a mini International Podcast Day celebration, Steve. That's what I kind of want them to be. Again, it's all about showcasing talent. It's all about showcasing voices from around the world that often don't get that recognition. So we're excited. I hope everybody is excited. Steve, I know you are as well. And you're muted again.
And I will never learn. I'm trying to be courteous, but it's not working. So I just say, let's kick the tires, light the fires, and move on, and let's get this show on the road.
Kick the tires and light the fires. That could be a great podcast name for anybody out there listening that wants it. Get it up right now. We will not charge you a trademark fee. We'll ask for no commissions out of that. But I do love that. So, Steve, you have any closing remarks before we end just this really brief 10-minute podcaster showcase introduction?
Well, I think what I'd like to finalize, Dave, is that, we work an entire year to bring the event, but it's also important that we periodically remember where we came from and where we're going in relation to podcasting. And it's also very important for all of us to evangelize podcasting, not from a perspective of pounding on a table, but bringing people into this art and craft that we all love. And so I'm really looking forward to the community getting bigger and stronger and sharing. And most importantly, being helpful to one another to advance the objectives of podcasting.
Yeah, it's well said. I know this community is absolutely amazing. There are plenty of talents and a lot of great people out there that all they really want to do is help. And that's exactly what we're here to do. And we are looking forward to taking part and just doing our cause, Steve, when it comes to again evangelizing the stories and the voices and everything like that. And so yeah, I can't say anything else more than what you've said, Steve. So we do want everybody to, of course, bookmark, whether you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, and Twitter, or even our live page. Make sure you turn on notifications. You can join our email list. You can do all those things, and it's going to be a very exciting time for us. I think it's again an opportunity to showcase a lot of talent that's out there right now. So, Steve, on behalf of me, I want to thank you for all the work that you do behind the scenes to make things happen. And before we even get any further along this, I just want to thank all our future podcaster showcase participants. It's going to be a very exciting time. It's going to be eventful. I can't wait to share their stories and their message. And of course, it's all about learning. It's all about educating yourself. And that can come in a lot of forms. It can be the tips and tricks with podcasting, or you can be learning about what's going on in someone else's neck of the woods that we need to know about. And so I think podcasts are a great medium to do that. And for that reasons, that is exactly why we put together and are doing our monthly live podcaster showcase. Well, Steve, that is going to end this brief, I guess, introduction to Podcaster Showcase. We look forward to everybody tuning in over the next 12 months as we continue to build up the medium of podcasting and as we build towards International Podcast Day 2020.